Hello everybody, good afternoon. So we have started this Nastik Satsang 3 weeks ago, and we have discussed different topic, and now today we are discussing how atheism will help bring gender equality in society. So I start with my view. So we have always seen and interacting in society and reading some scriptures, I have come to conclusion that most of the religious scriptures, they actually talk very bad about women, or they actually denigrate women, whether it's Gita or Quran or Bible. So my understanding is that it's because of religion that women have been considered less than men. So that has percolated in our culture also, that what they say is actually women need to be dependent on men. There has to be a man as a protector to women, and in Indian culture also women are not, they were not allowed to work outside. And even I will tell you my own life story, that when I was a kid, so those religious people, religious women actually, they used to tell me that always keep your wife, whenever you get married, under your check or in your fist, so that she doesn't stray away. So that struck into my mind, and I started thinking about it. And when I actually read Bhagavad Gita, so there are many verses which actually are written from men's perspective, because Mahabharata always happens within men. So when Krishna, in one particular verse which I can like to refer to, this is in Adhyaya 9 and verse 32, which we all know. So Krishna is preaching Arjuna that women, Shudra and Vaishya, they are sinful by birth. There is a particular term, Pap Yoni, and if they want salvation, they need to take refuge in me. So I see it as a conspiracy by Brahmin to make women, Shudra and Vaishya, submissive to Brahmin, because Brahmin are ultimately considered the agent of God. So where do they go for to take refuge in God? They always need a Brahmin. And another thing I understood, that he is talking to Arjuna, and Arjuna, he is always referring to Arjuna as Kshatriya. So I see humanism is like each question there is a question, and Hinduism is actually a conspiracy against women and Shudra to make them submissive, make them work under men, so and men need to control them. We can have references from Gita and Quran and Bible like this, and there are always this Manusmriti is always there, which is very infamous for such denigrating quotes. So that's my view, that if you know that there is no God who has not sanctioned these words, these verses have been written by men, from men's perspective. So if you if you understand that actually there is no God, and God doesn't talk about such thing, so you will be liberated, and you will start thinking rationally that no, it's not there. We see women working very hard. They are actually multitasking. There is no work which women can't perform and men can. So that's my view, that atheism and rationality and science will actually help bring gender equality. It's your opinion.
Oh, thank you. So I left the religion because I don't want to give money to the church, and especially the woman. And I was in Christian church before, and women are always a little bit more down. You see, Jesus had just men around him, no woman was around him. So, and they always talk about women really, really very bad. This I don't like. And I think we should be open. We are all human, and we are all on the same level. So there is no difference. We can work, we can decide ourselves. So, thank you.
Yeah, I think this is really true that religion has put down women on a second grade or even below. You can find this kind of examples in many religious texts. From all religion, you gave an example from Gita. I can give an example from Ramayana, what Tulsidas wrote, that Dhol Gama Shuddh Pashunari. So this they Sakal Tadana ki adhikari, so they should be beaten. And there are many other, like religious texts are filled with this. So of course I do believe that coming out from this religious atmosphere, religion, God, definitely it brings you to the level where you can see that women are not downgrade, they are not second grade, they are equal. And until you are into this, I think that you cannot overcome from this that you see women equal to you, because if you see, then somehow you are opposing your own religion, your own God who has taught you that women are down than you. So you have to decide yourself. Either you follow your religion, or either you really come on a true path, leave this all and see we all are equal, not smaller or bigger or greater or higher, something like that. So this is what I think, that atheism definitely helps women empowerment.
I think anyway you have given big examples for this already, and I think I can only add, like, it is not only always about like the scriptures and people who are very much religious, but also because it has come so much into culture. In the West, actually, it is not as much as it is as strong as it is here, because a lot of people, for them, religion is not that much important as it is in India. But even there is a certain part of culture where if you stand up for your right, you feel a certain guilt. And that guilt, I think, has come from centuries of religious thinking. Even though you are not very religious, but I think there is this guilt and this part where it seems like, okay, I'm doing something wrong because I'm not supporting my husband, or like if you say like you want a divorce, so because of many reasons, there can be anything, but there will be this hesitation, and I think a part of that can be often because of religion. And I have personally seen that here in India a lot, and very strongly for women who have been, who are even harassed at home, who have violence at home, and they don't come out of this because of religion. And I think in this kind of things, if you are free in your thinking, if you don't have the feeling I have to do this for my husband because God will love me only then you will have much more chance to be free to actually say, I'm not gonna let anybody hit me or steal my money and do things to me like this because God will love me or will not love me.
Yeah, about religion and the scriptures, how things are said. I think if somebody says I am feminist and I am religious, I think it doesn't work together. You can't be feminist if you are religious. This is my opinion. Very clear. If you believe in religion, if you follow the scripture, you can't be feminist. And who is atheist? They are feminist anyway. Only they can be feminist. Then always I see religious people, and they try to they come in defensive mode when these verses what you are saying against women, this is written, this is written, this is written, then they say, this is wrong interpretation. But this is not wrong interpretation. I say, I have read Sanskrit. I know what is the interpretation. I am not reading any translation. I can tell you exactly what it means. So forget it. Actually, these defenses are very weak, very, very weak. You can't defend religion in this way. Every religion, every scripture, this organized religion, they have put down the woman. They have made them second-rate citizen, and especially, actually, this is unfortunately like this. More women are into the religion. Always in religious gathering, you will see many women are there, and this is the work of religion, exploitation. They have done exploitation of women in this way, where they feel happy about being exploited, and they even defend it. They say, "Oh, this is fine, it is fine." They say, "Oh, especially in Hindu religion, if we talk about, for women there is like a goddess, and they make women like a god." But it is written, women are the door of hell. Narka ka dwar hai. It is, what interpretation is wrong? What interpretation is wrong? There is very clearly written. I know there cannot be any other meaning of it. So, I don't think so. This kind of defending can work if you really know. Then there is another point. Women say, "Oh, we follow the tradition. We follow the tradition. It is not much about." But in these all traditions, where woman has to be hungry from morning to evening, fasting for the life of her husband. In Indian tradition, this is also comes from the religion. In different areas, this called different names, but in Bihar, this Surya Chhat, and in Bundelkhand area, this Hartalika, and here in this area, Karwa Chauth. Always woman has to do that. So this is, I mean, I feel bad about that, and I really, when any woman come for defending, I never want to argue with them, because their arguments are very weak anyway, and exactly I know what is written there, but because they are religious, there is no other way than defending, and they are doing that. So I believe only atheism and refusing the religion can bring up women, and that's what happened in Western world also. What we said, so there is not that much religious influence. That's how women could come up and working everything. You see the difference here in India. 70, I think that the sisters, if I'm not forgetting, 71% women, they do not earn money from their work. It is not like this, they are not working. They are working, but they do not earn money. How much, what is the difference here in Indian woman and if you see a Western woman? So how this came? Because this religious influence is too much here, and when this will finish, I believe only then a woman can come up. Otherwise, if you see from the scripture's eyes, from the religious perspective, no, you cannot bring women up. So I believe this is the only way. You have to refuse religion and have to accept atheism if you want to work really for the woman, if you want to be true feminist. Otherwise, you you are fake feminist. Definitely, if you say I'm religious and feminist, no, it doesn't work. Clearly, it doesn't work. I have very clear, strong opinion about that.
I will say a little bit more about that. If you are in religion only divide. It doesn't matter only with women. If you see women, even religion divided animals. Cow for Hindus, God for Muslims. If you come out from religion, then you will see equal. Then you will see woman also as a human. I was reading just 2 or 3 days ago one Manusmriti shloka. There is that shloka saying, in woman only one thing is good, that woman is giving birth of child. Either not any quality happening. So only when you are atheist, then you can bring gender equality, and also you can see even other animals also, like animal, not you will divide in religion. Hindu say save the cow only and kill other. So only if you are atheist, then you can see equal.
Well, I also do believe that atheism can solve many of the problems. Like as Swamiji was mentioning that in our Hindu religion, the culture which comes out from the same thing, there are many practices where all the sacrifices, it's women who has to do all the sacrifices. They have to fast for their son, husbands. So I don't think there is anything written in the religion where man man is fasting for his wife or his daughter. We don't come across such examples, so we don't see that is not being practiced. So if one becomes atheist, if one family becomes atheist, then at least they will stop these sort of practices. And when the moment they stop these sort of practices, automatically there will be some certain degree of equality there. Even if you go to a marriage function, I have seen in many marriage functions there are rituals where the bride has to touch the feet of the groom. So, but why? Because because the bride is supposed to accept the groom as her Swami, master. So, and the marriage is one of very much a religious activity. So the moment you become an atheist and you refuse such traditional, customary religious ceremonies, activities, and you go for some other way for a marriage, then automatically, so of course at the end of the day we can say everything comes around that atheism, or if you become an atheist, then you will definitely stop these practices. So the moment you stop these sort of practices, we will automatically comes on a equal ground on many terms.
I think a lot have already been said about it. Personally, I wouldn't consider myself as a true atheist. What I believe in is that every religion, when it started with a different intent. It started with a specific intent. Like for example, if I say how maybe Buddhism is one religion which I can relate to very much.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you be a little bit loud? Otherwise,
Okay.
you know, the sound will be less than. Won't
I'm a
understand.
little soft, that's the.
Yes.
So, many of these religions, if I see in its raw form, they did not have as much issues or what we call as problems which we later on see. So when something started, it started, let's say, if I even say Gita, probably it's because of interpretation we say that it is. But maybe the raw form doesn't say exactly what it meant to say. Over a period of time, what has happened is, because I think that's more of an inherent thing which is there in human being, and particularly every male, female, is about getting more power. So things have been modified, altered, interpreted in ways to make it more in favor of man. So I'm totally against scriptures like Ramayana, or how Sita is portrayed in Ramayana, or how Draupadi is portrayed in Mahabharata. That really, really bad. Now, if you understand, it is basically saying that a woman has a certain things. This is her duty, this is how she should live, and this is how men should behave, men should. So they have created, what I would say is, they have said, ye karogi, to, for example, I'm speaking in Hindi, and they very specifically, with time, it has actually become stronger and stronger. One thing which I like, let's say, Buddhism says that do not, unless something passes your judgment or rationality, you should not accept it. So what I see is every religion has, what it has done is, it has been modified, interpreted in ways, and it has actually, if you see the current situation, I would say all the religions in this current context, in current situation, are not treating women. But would denying religion together, altogether, a solution? I am not very sure about it. I would say that picking up the best out of all of them and then looking at what can be good for women could be one way of looking at it. So another thing which, picking up from your idea, is that it is not about, it's actually not feminism. We are different. We have our own, as women we are different. We have our own needs. Rationality of understanding that woman is different, her needs are different. She needs to be treated differently, and I somehow have a problem even with the word feminism for it. Feminism is like treating equal. We can never be equal. We have our own needs, we have our own. So it is basically giving space to us to groom, it's giving equal opportunities. I think egalitarianism, which is a word which I really like, it is give equal opportunities to both. It is my choice whether I would like to pick up arts or science, but do not say that women can only do arts. So for me, it's more about my own choice. It's my own nature, it's my own, so for me, choice is, and giving equal opportunity is more important. And if it can be done through people who are more rational, who are more understanding in terms of, that's how I see things moving forward. I hope I'm putting it forward.
I find this conversation so interesting because I'm learning a lot about the different religions. I was raised in the United States and of a family that's one believer and one not. So there's always been kind of this dichotomy in my family, whether or not to go to church with my mom or not. And I found over time I had some trouble with the obey your husband teachings of the Bible, because I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I didn't want anybody telling me what to do. So I think over time, the conclusion that we're reaching here is that yes, religion definitely teaches and almost brainwashes women, and as a woman, it's very difficult to be empowered and to continue to believe in the teachings that maybe we were brought up with. I know that that's one of the reasons why I stopped going to church with my mom at about age 8, pretty early. And I'm the one in my family, I have there are 3 sisters, and I'm the one that's gone the farthest in education. And I got married latest in life, so it's really been interesting how religion maybe has impacted my sisters, and I've taken a different path just because I am not such a follower of religion. And just the different philosophies and how different people look at it differently. My mom at one point said, "Why don't you just get married?" And I said, "Because I'm not ready to." It wasn't time yet. I still had things I wanted to do. So I find this really quite fascinating.
I have some question inspired by your talk. That what you said about the raw form of the religion. Actually, what do you mean exactly with the raw form of the religion? Do you think, you said modified, alternative, you think these all verses, this is not real? This is not a raw form? In the older time, women were getting treated very well. Do you think like this? One point. Another point is this, what you said, women are different and they needed to be treated especially, separately. I can also say men are different.
Yes.
I also need to get
Exactly.
treated.
Every individual is different.
So if then there is not about man or woman.
Right.
Then it is about the individual.
Yes,
So
exactly.
then, no?
Exactly.
So then, and again, thing is this, feminist. Why do you need to be feminist? Why this term even exists? Because only of the religion. Because religion put women down,
They have come out.
that's why.
That's why it's required.
This is the reason only why we need feminism. If there was no religion, if woman was not degraded, then we did not do it.
Like atheism, feminism is also a reactionary revolution. We don't have any words like masculinism.
Yeah.
Why do we have feminism? Because women have been treated very badly, and I don't think in any religion it has been said that you allow women equal opportunity.
Sure.
No,
Because all the religions are made by men.
Yeah, because and I say that ultimate atheism is feminism, because universal God is always a male. Why?
Yes.
And I see you go to the ISKCON temple, you say, you superficially, you deceptively say that women are goddess, like Lakshmi is the goddess, but you always find Lakshmi massaging the feet of Vishnu. That's very denigrating. You never see other way around, because religion has been intended to exploit women, weaker section and poor.
Yeah. This is what they always
and with violence also. Like you said, even in Quran it has been written that if women do not agree to you or do not obey your order, you are free to beat her. And in Ramcharitamanas it is written, Dhol Gawar Shudra Pashunari Sakal Tarna Ke Adhikari. And I, as a kid, found it very obnoxious because
It's abusing.
So I don't find anything good in religion when it comes to treating women equally or giving them equal opportunity. So the basic intention of religion is to exploit and nothing else.
if there wouldn't be religion, then we would not need to discuss this topic now, because then there would not be this kind of duality. Then there was not any question of putting women down, because of course religion has shown the image of woman as a second grade. What, as Ramona said, like in the West it is better, but still somehow the impression from the long time,
That's
from the
hangover.
religious
I call it
practice,
religious hangover.
yeah, it is still somehow implemented in society, that somehow women are seen a little bit lower grade.
And I don't find this argument valid that when religion started, it doesn't start in a second. It always gets modified, encrusted, and suppressors was always involved. I don't understand how religion evolved. It evolved because men conspired against women. Like God doesn't give you religion. It's always like, why do we always imagine God as a male? As a male, Allah, we address him as He. God, Jesus, we address him as He. And Parampita Parmeshwar, it's a patriarchal conspiracy, nothing else.
Yeah. Not only God. Yeah. Even with that word, Hindu Dharma, Islam, this is also middle.
Like that, yes.
So I come from an Arya Samaji family, and if my Dadaji was a very strong Arya Samaji, and we grew in a family where there were nothing about women or men treated differently. And if I've understood Arya Samaji, though I won't call myself an Arya Samaji, if I have understood it, Dayanand Saraswati took up the oldest, when I said raw, was he said कि whatever bad things, kuritiyan jo aayi, that has come with time. So he started looking at the oldest form, and that's when he brought it, and that's basis that he made some rules. He said women can do everything together, yajna can be performed by a woman, they can do, so that at his level he tried to understand, so he tried to do it. So that gives me much more strength to say that probably what has happened to Hinduism over a period, and my Dadaji was totally against Ramayana, Mahabharata, all scriptures, Upanishads, Manusmriti, he says these are just junk. Ved also, he said, needs to be interpreted.
There is also verses in Vedas which is degrading women. I can tell you exactly. It is not like this in Vedas.
Even Dayanand Saraswati said that women should always be like younger than men. Like you can marry 8-year-old woman or 9-year-old woman. Yeah, those are rules. So even Arya Samaj is denigrating. Yeah, of course. So like Swamiji said, how do you call yourself religious if you don't follow religion? So you are not, either you are hanging between religion and feminism. So that actually I call it a dilemma. If you don't follow religion, even in Veda.
To this, when Sharda Act came in, my Dadaji was one of the pioneers in terms of ensuring that any marriage should happen in the family or religious. And he said that some of the things may be relevant then. Religion should evolve positively and not in the negative direction.
Yeah, but why do we need religion?
Why does religion?
I'm talking from his perspective, though. This is more as a logic which I'm putting in, but there is sufficient thing which says that only because of it is because, and it can happen anywhere. In a family, if a father is more powerful, he may see benefit in.
Religion gives this excuse to be powerful.
Yes.
Religion gives that excuse, and women get scared. If I don't follow the order, God will punish me. But actually there is no God. God has been conspired by men as a patriarchal male.
Also about, he said about Buddha. What Buddha said about women, do you know that? Buddha did not allow women in the mud.
Yes.
You know that?
It's always there.
I think this is actually one more trend. like you have the preachers, you have, you know, like in most of the religion, like when you're saying God didn't allow that, and you see in Hinduism, you know, like
Yeah, of course.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's a
everywhere.
no-woman zone.
Yeah.
It's a no-woman zone. You only need to serve men. Whether it is Devdasi, whether it is marriage, women are treated as slaves, nothing else.
Yeah.
And
And it's
whatever is there, I know you took the name of Vedas, even we can cite many numerous words of Vedas and Upanishads, they are degrading women.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So either you are religious or you are feminist. Like Swamiji said, both are not compatible. They are really incompatible. Whatever, I mean, how does religion arise? Within a second, what is that? What is that? Which is nothing. I mean, what? We are talking about religion, we are quoting the verses. In every religion, women have not been treated properly. So, religion is actually not compatible with feminism. And being atheist, like I said again I will repeat, feminism is the ultimate atheism because the universal God is always a male.
Being religious, you cannot talk about equality.
If you want to be equal to male, you will have to deny God.
or create a female God.
Or create a female God, what they are doing. But that's okay, that's a lie. Because you are creating it. That is actually a lie.
Then again, religion, when you talk about, then again it comes, no, that preacher, teacher, then again the fellowship comes, then you are following or listening. But I mean, being atheist or atheism is that you do not need to follow anybody.
And I also found this argument very weak, that I am religious but I am rationalist. Like you said, you create a woman. Where is the rationality behind it? I mean, there is no scientific proof. You are just creating. Like that, God has been created by patriarchal male society. And in Western feminist revolution, they started demanding kind of female god or female priest to be allowed in churches, but that doesn't help because it ultimately is a lie, and lie will always create chaos. It will not give you complete foundation of humanity because this is a deception ultimately, and you cannot trust deception to be helpful to society.
There are churches, like if you see the Protestant church, they have female priests. I don't know if they're called priests or preachers,
Yes.
but there are churches who have female priests.
But the ultimate pope is always a male.
Yes, but that is not actually. They are not actually. The Catholic and Protestant are different. They are not belonging to the Pope, to the Catholic Church. They don't listen to the.
Religion is always divided.
So exactly. It's a Christian.
It's
church.
a
It's a Christian church, but not the Pope.
Also,
Just a moment, sorry.
yes.
But I just wanted to say, like, if you come away a little from the scriptures and come a little bit into the daily life, because actually when you see, like, the woman across the road, she actually doesn't really care about what is written in the Manusmriti or anything, and her husband doesn't recite that to her. It's much more about what happens in daily life.
Yes.
And then if you say, I pick a little bit from this religion and a little bit from that religion, actually it doesn't really happen like this. If you say, like, about this, you want to pick from here and there, you can just take your morals, but they don't have to be actually religious.
Yeah, morality is not linked with
I think religion was created in order to have the structure, and we don't need this today anymore because we have access to internet, we have access to libraries, we can find our information for these morals in many other places, and we don't need this one book or this priest because nobody could read, so they had to go to church to get to the knowledge. We don't need this anymore. This is why I say in the daily life, I think it will be much better for women if they get access to education than if they get access to religion.
Yeah, actually religion is only manipulating and exploiting. And what is the daily life situation? Which women have nothing to do even with religion or have never read any scripture or anything. But because of this old tradition, how she had been grown up, she had put down from the beginning a boy and girl. And you can see the clear difference in very Indian family, how they are being raised up.
Like Raksha Bandhan.
Yeah.
Girls have to, tag that Yeah.
Because he will protect.
He will protect.
Because he is weak.
Yeah, she's weak. She needs always a protection. Who does say that?
And there is no difference. There is no difference.
Yeah, like you said, I am different than you. In the same manner, Ramona is different than you.
Yeah.
We are all individual, and that individuality actually tells us that we are universally equal.
Yeah.
And you see, in this way, same, when somebody is supporting women in such manner that, we have to help her, or we have to give them reservation, or special treatment, or making this kind of difference, or this kind of versus ladies first. This is also in a way you are putting her down.
Yeah.
Because when you talk about equality, then what is the difference? Then we are equal. Then she is no special, neither you are special. We all are special.
We all are.
So we don't have to say this that, I am special, I need a different treatment because I am a woman. No, we all are same.
We all are same.
Yeah.
And if you give them equal opportunity, we won't need that mindset to treat them specially.
And I have really found this, in this kind of thing, I also notice in Ramona and also in the West, sometimes this is like more in the Indian culture. But in West, many women, they don't really like this.
And
to be treated more especially, then
Yeah.
it shows that they are weaker.
Yeah.
Why?
They will object to
I
it.
mean, they can
They will
do
object to it.
everything themselves.
Yeah.
They are self-dependent.
Treating especially is creating difference.
Yeah.
And we don't have to do it. Yeah, and some women actually take feminism too extreme, too far. Like if we are very much informal in talking with men, but with women you have to be always formal. They say that you don't know how to talk to a woman. I mean, what is this? We are all human beings, and we have to understand. And that mentality has always come from religion only.
Yeah,
It's a spillover, is a phenomenon that women are different and they need different treatment, whether protection or
So I'm against this safety thing. In fact, the reason why this safety thing has been brought in, the woman needs safety, is actually degraded woman further.
Yes.
The moment you say a girl needs safety,
Yeah,
her
protection.
picture can't be put on Facebook.
Yes.
She can't go out. She can't go out in the night. Moment all this thing is basically coming from a men's minds.
Yes.
And probably when you start like in tribal societies, woman is free.
Yeah, because there are no organized religion. There are no organized religion. Yes, they don't have organized religion which creates a structure and gives you law. What is dharma? It's a law. No, and I can understand that point that in earlier days it was relevant because men were still barbaric. They were not evolved enough to think rationally. So they wanted to create a closed society. So those things happened.
Especially in
Now we don't need
culture.
it. We don't need religion. So like linking morality with religion is absolutely wrong. You can be moral with atheism, rejecting God because there is no God. There is no proof of God.
Yeah, especially in Indian culture, it is also like, you see what term they use. Even I was reading one woman, she is like, she called herself rational or feminist, and there was some wedding of her sister or somebody. So she said, oh, मेरी बहन तो पराई हो गई.
पराया धन. लड़कियां पराया धन. They raise their girl as a pariah. That's why they do it very badly.
Because women are donated. Kanya Dan. When you marry a woman, actually father of this girl is donating his daughter to a man. Okay, now I donate, and they do all these rituals. They recite the mantras, which means like this was my property until now, and now I am handing you over
to another man.
Now you are the responsible
Yeah.
for this. So woman is like a thing. It is just like a cow. They donate cow.
Of course.
So that's why, I say, if you are following this kind of culture, on the name of tradition, culture or whatever, or religion, and then you call yourself, and then you say, तो ये पराई हो गई, it is not anymore mine. So then how you can call yourself feminist, and if you relate yourself with religion and this all rituals and ceremonies? So women are not the thing for donating somebody. It is, they don't see as human. They don't see as human.
And this is true that you have to come out from this ownership, because you donate because the father thinks that I own the daughter, and that's how he gives the ownership to the man. And as a symbolic, they also do, taking water in the hand and then taking the daughter's hand and giving in the hand of the man, that okay, now as the symbolic, because maybe the daughter is a little bit bigger to come in the hand, so they use the water as a symbol. But still, this is like ownership, and this ownership is actually generated by the religion.
Yes.
And this ownership, if you want to come out from this ownership, then you have to break up from the religion. Until you are in the religion, you cannot leave this ownership.
And those verses which are recited during marriage, where are they coming from? They are coming from Veda only.
Yes.
And Arya Samaj supports Veda. So here also that argument is invalid, incorrect. That Vedas are the supreme or Vedas are the purest. I can cite you many verses where Vedas are violent.
Very much.
And Veda was not written in a moment. Like they say that it came from Akashvani, Brahma gave you Veda. No, it has been researched that Rig Veda itself is a phenomenon happening through 500 years of period. They kept on accumulating. So you can't say that Veda was a revealed knowledge. It popped up from somewhere and it didn't evolve. It actually evolved.
Everybody says for Quran also this is the same thing.
This is Asmani Kitab. So they kept on encrusting those those verses which kept denigrating women year after year after year.
You see what kind of things they say even in this what you recite this I don't remember this Bhojyeshu Mata Karyeshu Mantri Saimeshu Ramba. You will never hear this kind of thing about a man, that how a man should be for a woman. But they always tell and give a guidance that a woman should be like a mother when he is feeding her husband, and should be like
yes, Chanakya wrote that. Something like not woman.
She is always less intelligent.
Less intelligent. And they made a law.
You should never trust a woman.
You should never trust a woman. Even if she is your mother or wife or sister.
And you cannot say these are modified or donated or later or in raw form it was not existing. This is not like this. It is there, and it is not any wrong interpretation. It
is the right interpretation.
Yes.
And those interpretations which they claim that they are like, those are sweet lies. And we have exposed all those.
The wrong interpretation is when nowadays people try to find their way. Oh, it was not really meant what Tulsidas wrote, beating women. It was meant about protecting, and that is a wrong interpretation.
That is a wrong.
But the true interpretation is
they are quoting it with this sugar. They are sugar quoting it, and they are actually dishonest.
Yeah.
I have heard from some Muslim. They say, oh yes, in Quran it is written you can beat your woman, but you can beat only with the thin stick.
Thin stick.
Symbolically beat only.
And why women can't beat? And why the same woman can't beat her husband with a thin flower? That's not there. And Chanakya. So dharma or religion is not a moment phenomenon. It has always evolved. It has always. We can't say that this much book or this much law has been revealed in a moment. No.
So is Islam, I've read Quran, and Islam I see is as coming. I mean, all the religions have come up with a pretext or with a social context. So at that time, probably women needed some kind of.
Probably. No, but
we
you're not sure.
Some, like for example, if you see the rules in specific rules of Quran and Quran, many of them are really very good for women also. And where you see that it is probably those rules make a lot of sense if you look at women's liberation both inside. For example, if you within a home, if you look at how Islam looks at it almost gives an equal opportunity.
I'm not agree with you.
I don't know.
It doesn't give.
No, it doesn't give. Yeah,
But
it's kind of
Yeah, you can finish. Yeah.
Equal opportunity more in the bedroom. I'm talking about the specific bedroom scenes which it talks about. Whereas none of the religion actually explains that. That's one thing. But Islam definitely had something, whoever wrote that Quran had something in mind because of which those things were written. So it's probably the social context, the way they must have seen how women behave or live, what has gone into the scriptures. So I again feel the same thing, that scriptures, you just pick up one religion and just follow it. That is madness.
Yeah, but if you don't follow a religion, then you are not religious.
But again, what
Did
I want
you
to say
say
is
that the Quran gives equal rights to women in the bedroom? Did he say something like that?
Yeah.
But I heard that Quran is saying something that if a woman doesn't allow you to have sex, then you can even rape her. Without her permission, you are allowed to have sex with her. Is it talking about bedroom or not?
You can beat her.
So it is something like this?
If you are married, then if you are married, then you can rape.
Marital rape only if you see, because
Yeah,
I
marital rape won't anyway
was
consider rape.
reading specifically about marital rape because I've worked a lot on that specific topic. And in marital rape, I saw that every other religion, definitely Hinduism is pretty bad there. There are a lot of incidents which talk about it. It's only Islam which is slightly progressive there. I would not call it 10 on 10, but it is progressive among the rest of them.
But how you will justify when Quran is saying you can beat women? How you will justify this? When Quran is saying
It is saying somewhere else, but definitely
No,
I
you
do
know
not
what, no,
agree
you
with
have to
it.
see religion in totality. That's how you have to
I definitely do not agree.
Next thing is
and
that
other point is this, there is also, if woman was raped, she need to bring 4 adults as witness.
Yes.
Where? From where? Where is woman equality? How, when woman is getting raped, how she will prove that she was raped? Because she have to bring 4 adults as witness. Where is this? Is nonsense.
There are a lot of
complete.
This is complete
I
nonsense.
mean,
and
there is.
they are contradictory. They are contradictory itself. So better to reject religion. Because if there is religion, people can always come. If there is religion, people can always come up with those things. So you cannot be like cherry picking religion and say this is good. Religion, you look at it as a whole perspective. If Quran is a book and there are a lot of denigrating verses like triple talaq, what is it? So yeah, that's denigrating, and talaq is anyway not available in Hinduism. So later on.
That's another very good topic.
That's another. We can discuss it
Another time.
Yeah. Because one they say that जहाँ जिस घर में तेरी डोली जा रही है आरती वहीं से उठेगी, and Sati, there is always there. So you cannot
keep this for another time.
Yeah. This is a very big topic.
This is a big topic.
Yeah. So I think we made the conclusion of, or we don't need to make the conclusion. I only can.
Yeah, I think it is just a nice talk, and our viewers can conclude themselves.
Yeah.
That what the conclusion came out from this, that it is, they can think themselves that it is really true that you cannot support or you cannot talk about equality if you are still in religion. So if you want to see yourself or others equal, then please first come out from the religion, be an atheist and clear, and then talk about it.
In the same mind, you cannot criticize religion in one hand and then accept religion on the other. You will always be in dilemma. So this is so.
I'm sorry. How many arguments you brought? Actually, they are not valid. They are not valid. You cannot it is always. If you talk about the Gita, if you talk about Ramayana, if you talk about Dayanand, if you talk about Buddha, if you talk about Quran, everywhere.
If you look at whole of the current form, none of them are to be followed.
Yeah, you don't follow religion.
That's what she also said.
But what she said was morals probably are there, okay?
No.
But morals can be picked up from anywhere else as well.
No, morals is
But
not
you see, morals could be there, but it is not like this. Religion also has picked up morals to prove itself that we are nice. But you don't have to take morals from the religion.
That's so good.
I mean, it is a quite normal thing that you should know that stealing is not a good thing. So you don't have to learn this from the religion.
I'll put a scientific point of view. Morality is biological. Religion doesn't have patent on morality. I will show you. Even you see monkeys around, why do they feed their kid? Because of morality. And it has evolved in human beings. We are more moral naturally. We don't need religion to be more developed. It's always a brain thing. And you see, there we can see many videos they have been uploaded that monkeys they themselves save, and even when elephant dies they actually mourn. So religion doesn't have patent on morality. It has actually hijacked morality. Morality is actually inbuilt in biology. It's biologically coming. Because of hormone, we feel happy because of oxytocin. We feel love because of oxytocin.
So my request to all the women of this world, all my friends, all female friends is this: just refuse the religion. There is no other way. No other way.
You can be more.
We are talking about women, about feminism only because of religion. So you have to refuse it. It will go away. I am very positive about it. It will go away. And you can see also at present where religion has less impact. Women are more empowered, more powerful, and they are more equal.
In every society.
And where in that society where religion or God have much influence, so their women are
suppressed.
So only this is the way. Refuse it. Throw it.
We can be
don't need it.
We can be good without God.
Yes.
We don't need God to guide us for morality. Morality is inbuilt biologically.
If you want to be equal, then
your conscience.
You have to take off the religious glasses. No? From the glasses of religion, you never can see equal. You will always see women lower. So please take off, leave the religion, be atheist, and then be equal.
And also, rules are for fools, wise have their conscience. If you follow your conscience, you will be good enough. You don't need rules to be populated from above. So, you don't need a God for that.
Good. So it was really very nice. Nice discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you everybody.